Oh, here we go. This is the lab indeed.
Yeah, this is the dry lab. This is one of our XR kits. You fitted a couple of these. This kit, it has our crankcase filter, catch can. It has a fuel water separator pre-filter, and then all the componentry that you need to fit both of those into an already pretty packed engine bay. Critically, bracket, E-coated bracket, designed to line up, like I was saying, with the studs and weld nuts that are already in the engine bay. We give a nice fit, and we try to have as close to OE appearance as we can get. It's important for our customers to keep that OE look. Fuel hose, fuel fittings, we go for a quick connect. It's very similar to the OE fuel fittings. Crankcase fitting parts, hose connector, hose clamps.
One of the things I love is these hoses, how they're preformed as well, because you're not sort of trying to bend things and kink things. And again,
you're right, that's about having an OE look. By having them moulded, they fall into place effectively.
And I mean, looking around here, you've got some pretty impressive gear in here. Can you give us a bit of rundown of what you do to get from that to this?
Once we get the scan data off the engine, put that into CAD. They'll design, in the CAD software, they'll place the parts, design the brackets, design the hoses. Then we will start to make prototypes. So over here, we've got our 3D printer. The 3D printer, you can see it's printing a bracket right now, a prototype bracket. That's where we'll have a prototype part that we can then fit back into the engine bay, do that important physical fitment. And that's obviously to make sure that the bracket's lining up for the right mounting points that we want to line up to. It's also making sure that we've positioned the parts correctly, but then also we're making sure that you can physically get the bracket in and out. When we're making these brackets, that ease of fitment's really critical, because you can have a bracket that theoretically lines up with mounting points, but if it's too bulky to actually get it in, well, then there's no point making it. So that's where the engineer gets to try fitting it themselves.
Yeah, and even like those Ranger engine bays, they are very tight in there, and having fitted one of your kits, you have to angle it in there, but it gets in there nicely.
Once it's in, it fits well.
Nice. Well, what other cool stuff have you got to show me?
Oh, there's plenty. So here's our office, engineering section. So as you can see here, Mark, once the engineer gets the scan data into CAD, it can actually place these parts.
Oh yeah, cool.
Make sure that, in this case, that Ranger bracket's going to line up with all of the holes, the studs that we've decided we're going to mount to, and then can also place those additional filters on the bracket and make sure that they're also going to line up, not foul with any of the OE parts. And then when satisfied with the packaging of the filters, can then also design the hoses, and then ultimately make sure it has a nice OE look as well.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean, it does fit in there just perfectly, doesn't it?
Yeah, they don't give us much space, but we usually find the space that we need. And look, and we can also do some finite element analysis. So when the engineer's happy with what we call the packaging, he can then apply forces and loads in here and actually look at, make sure that the bracket's meeting our stiffness targets. And durability targets. We can all do that virtually. And I guess, this is in a Ford Ranger too, and a lot of them copper hiding as well. So got to be able to put up with what the owners are going to put us through, aren't they? And we don't want to shake up our filters too much either. So we want to make sure they've got a nice stiff mounting base. They're kept steady. They're not going to vibrate and rattle and hit other parts of the engine bay.